When I was 13, I had a really big crush on this one girl in my class. I'd get home from school around 4 o'clock every day. She'd get home from school around 4:30. And she'd text me as soon as she got home. It was the first thing she did. I'd be waiting for her text on my iPad 4 mini that I used to love, and we'd chat for hours because she liked me as well. But she could admit to me that she liked me. I could never admit to her that I liked her because I was always so afraid of being seen as weak. And I told myself at this point in my life that if I was not in the NBA when I got out of high school, I would myself. I literally promised myself that. I meant every single word of it. Because I could not deal with the fact of making it out of school and not making it, of being a failure, of letting the younger me down. I couldn't do it. So I promised myself, I can date this girl in year 9. For the next 2 years, let's focus on basketball, and that is it. So I do. Even though I really want to date this girl, I don't, because I see her as a little bit of a distraction. But even though I wanted to date her, I was fine without dating her because basketball had such a strong emotional pull on me. It was who I was. It was my ticket out. It was a way I could retire my parents. It was a way I could do something I love every single day. It was a way I could become famous and rich. This was it, and nothing was stopping me from making it. Not even at this point in my life, the hottest girl at school. Wasn't doing it. And the thing is, I think that actually made me more attractive to her with that mindset. And that kind of sounds weird, but I'll get to it in a minute. But it gets to the end of year 8, right? And I try out for this basketball team that will definitely help me make the NBA one day. I go in with 100% confidence that I'm going to make it. Long story short, I don't. I get cut. I go home, I look myself in the mirror, and I'm like, bro, you're fucking 5'5", you're 5'6" on a good day at 14. You're a skinny white kid from, Australia. You really think basketball's meant for you? Really? So I listened to that voice and I gave up. I was just gonna waste my youth. So when you go from having purpose all the way up here to none, what do you crave? You crave some love. And I crave love from this girl. But the problem was I'd been dry with her probably the last 8 months, which I think she lost a lot of interest in me. She started dating some of my friends and I got really jealous. I don't think she was interested in me anymore. I tried texting her. I tried getting her attention back, but it didn't really work because she thought that I was not interested in her. You know, so I'm telling myself every day, you're a fucking idiot. You missed out on dating this girl who was the most attractive girl in the school. Basically everyone said that. You missed out on that, bro. And I had a lot of regret. I had a lot of regret about it. And because of that regret and that lack of purpose, I started fapping 4 times a day, and fucking meme and shit. It's true that I did. I fell into some really bad habits, and I would say that I was depressed. I don't know if I had depression, but I felt depressed. Alright. But I remember sitting in class one day with this same mindset in history class. And I just start looking back to the past, 2017, 2018, 2019, where I had a sky-high level ambition. Again, all the way up here, it's a high that I could not get back. The only way I could feel it is to relive it in my head. So I'm reliving it, I'm zoning out of class, and I'm like, bro, there's got to be something that you can do other than basketball to get that spark back again. There's got to be something. There has to be. There's got to be. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a YouTuber. So I'm like, okay, what can I make content on? After 15 minutes of discussing ideas with myself, I come up with a fitness-based YouTube channel. But I know if I start this, I am not going to get a girlfriend for the next 4 years. I know that. Because I'm going to be the weird dude who makes content. Unless I was extremely successful with it, which I wasn't. And no girl wants to be with the weird dude, because then she's just weird as well. But I was ready to take the risk. Yes, I would be very lonely. Yes, I'd probably lose a lot of friends, which I like to say I did. But I had such a strong emotional pull towards what I was doing that I could cope with that. I could cope with not having a girlfriend because I had such a strong emotional pull towards what I was doing, my purpose. I loved it. I love fitness. That's one thing I kept doing after I got cut from the basketball team because it was connected to nostalgia. I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I felt that inner child come alive again. And it gave me a little sense of confidence that basketball gave me. I could finally feel alive. And I truly believe, bro, you know, if you want a girlfriend, but you're still building yourself, which is the title of this video, I think, you need to have something like that. It needs to have a strong emotional pull. It doesn't need to be as strong as sex, because the sexual desire is the strongest desire in the body. But it needs to be very close to it, bro. This could simply be starting a business to retire your parents, because if you don't retire your parents, you'll feel like a failure. This could be starting that YouTube channel because you used to love YouTube as a kid. There needs to be something a little bit more, bro, because if there's something not a little bit more, if you're just setting a goal because you can, if you just go into the gym just because you can, that urge for intimacy, that crave for love is just going to overtake you, bro, and it's all you're going to think about. And it fucks with your head. As men, you know, with our masculine nature, there needs to be something more than just a girl. And I don't know, and girls probably won't admit this, but most girls don't want a guy who's thinking about her 24/7. They might say that, but if you think about the masculine and the feminine dynamic, it doesn't really make sense, you know. And if you're sitting there like, fuck, but I have nothing. Girls is all I think about 24/7. You do have something, you do, 100% you do. You just haven't tapped into it yet. It's probably a very repressed energy. Something I love to do when I lose that spark is go listen to a song that I used to love as a kid. You know, those 2015, 2016, 2017 nostalgic songs. Just put on a playlist, go on YouTube, and just walk around my primary school. You know, it might be a bit dark, so, you know, brings out more of those dark emotions, and just walk around. It brings back a lot of those memories I had as a kid, that inner child that was extremely ambitious, and I regained that spark again. Go and talk to a friend that you haven't met up with in a while. Go and play that favourite sport you used to love as a kid. For me, that was basketball. I love playing basketball at least once a week. It's got to be something a little bit more, bro. I think nostalgia is a great way to find that. And if it was, I don't know, if you wanted to be a YouTuber as a kid, just start making content for 30 minutes a day. If you wanted to play basketball as a kid, I don't know, start posting basketball content for 30 minutes a day. That's just one avenue you can go down, but there needs to be something that is on par with the emotion of sex. Unless you're just gonna think about it all the time. So back to my story. I graduate high school November last year. I make it through year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12, you know, doing my thing, making content. And when I go out of school, I fall back into that rut again, just a little bit. That rut I had in between year 8 and year 9. I hadn't felt the touch of a woman my whole teenage life. I never felt it. Everyone else kind of did, because I was, you know, so focused on my work. So I naturally put it on a pedestal. I felt that I was unworthy of love. No girl in my school really found me attractive. I didn't know what to do. I was very nervous around women. I'd go outside and every time I walked past a really attractive girl, I would put my head down, I would, you know, do something on my phone. I would say that, oh, she's a distraction. The girls come later when you've got your life together. But that was, for some guys that might be the case, but for me it was the most bitchiest excuse ever, bro. I was just scared. I was literally just afraid. Because a female's attention for me was so scarce, because again, I'd never really chased it in my life. So I'm like, bro, you gotta start getting out there more. You gotta start talking to people. All right, you can't be this really, really introverted dude who just goes outside to make videos. All right, so I do. I join a gym where the community is really good, so you get to know everyone there. Something really as simple as if you go shopping, you just start off a conversation with the person at the cash register. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. But you spark conversations with people, as long as they're natural. You don't want to force it, because then you just kind of come off as weird. But natural conversations, if I had something like that, I'd do it. If I found a girl really attractive, I would just fucking go up to her. I didn't need to ask for her number. I just need to adjust myself to this new life. And I started to realize that I always had the charisma. I always had the ability to socialize like that, because I developed those skills on camera for years. Fear was just overtaking my mind, which was the issue. And I made that cold approach video, and that really helped me. I realized that my fears were way too over-exaggerated. I am worthy of love. I am. I just hadn't found my people yet. You probably just haven't found your person yet. So I'm at a point in my life now where I don't have a girlfriend, and that's okay. I'm building myself. If the right girl comes along, sure, I'd be stupid not to take up the opportunity. I have very high standards at the moment because I'm still in a developing stage. I'm not in my prime yet. I am far off my prime. I thought I was in my prime 3 years ago, and I look back at myself 3 years ago, and you are dumb as fuck. You're an idiot. You look like shit, you think like shit. And I'm gonna think the same thing in 3 years. I'm gonna think the same thing in 6 years. I know that. I know I get better and better and better every single day. I know I look better every day. I know I think better every day. I know I create better every day. And that's confidence, not arrogance. There's a difference. And you need to think the same too, bro. You are only going to get better and better and better and better. As long as you do get better and better and better and better. And if you pair that with a really strong purpose that is either on an emotional par with the desire for sex, or even greater. And then you pair that also with actually getting out there, talking to women, sparking up conversations, being that person who sparks up conversations, being that person who lightens the room up. I'm an introvert, but I like to try and lighten the room up, because the world needs more of it. And people are so fucking obsessed with themselves now anyways, you might as well. No one's really thinking about you as much as you think. I'm kind of yapping here, but you got to realize, bro, you're going to get better and better and better every single day. Enjoy this shit. Enjoy it, bro. Enjoy it. Because one day you might miss it. One day you might. All right? Oh, and I said this in my latest video, but it's true. That's my take. And it seems to be working for me. It seems to be working very well. So I wanted to share it with you. All right, bro? I will catch you in the next video.